Hey guys, Zach here. I wanted to make this video for you guys today to talk about the Amway compensation plan and how it breaks down and how the math actually works. I remember when I first learned this, it helped me out a ton. It really helped me understand how legitimate the opportunity was, and I was pretty excited about it. So I'm excited to take a few minutes with you here today and go through that. So the plan is called an unlimited stair-step breakaway, which we're the only network marketing company in the industry that has this model, which is a truly unlimited model, which is really, really cool. Any other company that you research will have some sort of limits imposed somewhere, which is pretty wild that you are in literally the best paying compensation plan out there. This is also why the business is not a pyramid scheme. At this point, you probably already understand that it's not. I mean, just the facts themselves tell you that it's not. $10 billion in sales, been around for almost 60 years, and we own the Orlando Magic and so many high-profile places and things that people are pretty aware that it's not a pyramid scheme. But from a math standpoint, you might not know, and that's okay because I didn't know for quite a long time either. So we're going to go through that today, and from a math perspective, show you how it's actually not and how your downline can out-earn you. So we're going to have two examples, and we're going to start with a small example first with a 1,000 PV group. And so we got Tim here. He's 1,000 PV total throughout his entire business. So this is method one. This is one way to go 1,000 PV. You have 4 separate legs at 200 PV apiece. So that's 800 PV in your group plus your 200 PV for yourself. So grand total, you're at 1,000 PV. Now, business volume. This is going to play a very important role in calculating this. At this point, you've probably wondered what BV means. It stands for business volume, and it's basically the money spent on the website. So think of it as just money. That's how Amway calculates your pay. So we always talk about money being about 3 times the PV. So $3 equals 1 PV. You've probably heard that before in the plan. You could think of those dollars as BV in many cases. It's usually about 3 times the PV. And BV, or business volume, is how we're going to calculate the money. Okay, so we're going to see BV quite a bit. So each of these groups is 200 PV, and they're doing 600 BV of business volume, or think of it this way, they're selling $600 worth of product, or $600 worth of product is moving through their business in some way. So if Joe, Kelly, Rob, or Matt are at 200 PV, they're in the first bracket, so they're making 3%, right? So that's 3% of 600 BV, or $600 roughly. So it's about 18 bucks. So Joe, off of his PV, or it's actually called a bonus check, off of his bonus check, he's going to make about $18 at 200 PV. Now, it's not including his retail profit, of course, or any sort of bonuses that he would get as a new guy for hitting 200 PV for the first time. So in this example, Joe, Kelly, Rob, and Matt are all making about $18 a piece off of their PV, not including their retail profit and bonuses. Now Tim is at 1,000 PV because he's getting credit for everybody in the group. So this is a decently healthy 1,000 PV group. So this is actually how you make money off of your downline. It's not just get more people in and make more money. There's actually math behind it, and it's called the differential. So here's what it looks like. Joe keeps 100% of everything that he earned. So if he's at 200 PV, he earns 3%. He keeps all of it. Tim is at 12% based on where he's at in the chart. He's at 1,000 PV, so he's at 12%. Now, Tim actually keeps the difference between where he's at and where his downline is at. So in this case, he's at a 90% differential for Joe, Kelly, Rob, and Matt. So if you do the math on this, here's what it works out to be. It's about $54 per leg in this case if they're all at 200 PV. So where does that math come from? Well, Tim is making 9% off of 600 BV from each leg. So it's about 9% of $600. That's $54 a piece. That's a total of $216 for his team, plus $72 from his personal PV, and about $100 in retail profit or so. So to group this size, he's probably making around $380. Now for the personal PV, you're actually keeping your full percentage off of your personal circle. So if you have a 200 PV personal circle, if that's $600 or so, or 600 BV worth of sales, you're making about 12% off of that. So that's about $72 in Tim's case, where he is at 1,000 PV. So that's where that came from. Okay, method 2. We've got another 1,000 PV group. So Tim did a little bit differently this time. He, instead of sponsoring 4 legs, he sponsored 1 leg. He sponsored one superstar named Rob, and Rob took off with this thing. So Rob is in the situation that Tim was in our last example, and he sponsored 4 legs. And so Rob is making as much as Tim was in our last example. Well, here's the difference. Rob is at 12%, and Tim just sponsored 1 guy, Rob. So Tim's at 150, like a good functioning IBO. So he's at 1,150 points. Well, his next bonus bracket does not hit until 1,500. So Tim is kind of stuck in this limbo land place where he's not making any money off of that big leg. So his differential is 0. So in this case, Tim is getting out-earned by his downline. Rob is making about $388, and Tim is making about $54 off of his PV from his personal circle, plus his retail profit. And that, my friends, is why you can out-earn your upline from a mathematical perspective. So let's look at this one more time. Let's talk about a platinum ship. We talk about platinum all the time in the plan, 7,500 points. In this case, Tim has 2 4,000 PV legs. He is at 25%. His downline are at 21%. So if you look at the chart over there on the right, 25% at 7,500, 21% is 4,000. So the differential is 4%. 4% of 12,000 BV, about 3 times the PV again, is like $480. Times that by 2 for 2 legs, that's $960 plus his personal retail profit. So he's probably making about $1,000. This is a platinum, you guys. This is a platinum business, 7,500 points, and he's only making about $1,000. Now it sounds a little bit low, and if you're thinking that, you'd be right. Take a look at this. So Rob, in this case, is at 4,000 PV. Let's say Rob did it right. He got really, really wide. If Rob has 12 legs at 300 PV each, well, his differential is pretty good, because if each leg is only at 300, well, that's only at 6%. Rob, at 21%, is at 4,000 PV. That differential is pretty huge. That's a 15% gap. So Rob's making 15% off of 900 BV times 12 legs. So it's $135 per leg times 12. That's almost $1,700 just as a 4,000. That's not even including his personal retail profit or his PV from his personal circle. So in this case, a 4,000 PVer is out-earning his platinum upline. This is yet another example of how you can out-earn your upline, even if they're a platinum. Okay, let's talk about this if Tim did it the right way. Let's say Tim registered 8 legs, and they're all 1,000 PV apiece. Well, that differential is pretty big. That's a 13% differential. Times 3,000 BV, that's $390 for 8 legs. So that's about $3,100 plus his personal retail profit. That looks a little bit more like the platinum ships that we talk about in the plan. Now this is a huge, huge lesson in getting as wide as you possibly can, as fast as you possibly can. And that is it, guys. I'm excited you took the time out to understand the compensation plan. You now understand this from a mathematical perspective and understand how you can out-earn your upline and how this is not a pyramid scheme. So you are very well equipped and ready to go out there into the world and take things over. So appreciate you letting me share with you, and we'll see you guys at the top. Thanks, guys.